And welcome. It's time for Skyhawks Minute, sponsored by Fort Lewis College on Durango's hit music station 99X. And we'd like to welcome Alex Tenorio. Alex, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good. Great to have you here with us. And of course, a pleasure for you to join us right here on Skyhawks Minute. And I know you have an impressive journey as a student athlete there at Fort Lewis College. Can't even talk today. Coupled with a couple of outstanding achievements. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to kind of dive into your story a little bit and talk about your accomplishments. So without
Okay.
further ado, let's embark on that conversation and find out a little bit about more about Alex Tenorio. So let's first talk about, I know you're from Los Lunas, New Mexico, which I'm from New
Mhm.
Mexico, but anyway, a lot of ties there. But what brought you to Fort Lewis College as a student athlete?
I would definitely say I really love the mountains. So, growing up, I would always tell my mom like I want to be like in the mountains, and then she's like, "Oh, so like Denver?" I'm like, "No, mom, I want to be in the mountains, like literally in the mountains." And so when I had the opportunity to come here for a visit for softball, I was here and I was just like, "Wow, this is perfect." So it just fit. It checked all my boxes whenever I came on my visit.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's really nice for your family too. You're not too far from home, really.
Yes, exactly. That was another thing too is, I'm a big family person, so I definitely wanted to have them in my back pocket still.
Definitely so. And it sounds like you got a good support from your family too in what you do.
Oh yes, definitely. They're here probably like almost every weekend for my games.
Yeah. Well, good. That's a good thing. And
Yeah.
of course, mentioning that, you guys have a 4 game set. You guys are playing at Bloomfield this weekend, correct?
Yes, we are. Yep, against Mesa.
And talk about, I think your field's like frozen over in Durango. Isn't that a little bit crazy? Is that why you're playing down in Bloomfield?
Yep, that's exactly why we're playing in Bloomfield. I'm kind of used to it. It's like my third year here, so usually we don't ever get to play our first couple home games actually home. So I'm pretty familiar with Bloomfield now. And then it's nice too because they just installed new turf on their field, so I think we're pretty excited to play in
Yeah, it's
Bloomfield.
probably still pretty much like a home game. I mean, it's just right
Yeah.
there, and
Yeah, exactly.
and they have a great field too there. I mean, you can't complain about that
Yes.
for sure.
Oh, exactly.
And it's got to feel good to feel like you're on your home ground back in New Mexico.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, it's nice. It brings back the memories.
No, good, good. That's good to hear. And talk about what it's been like to transition. I know it's been a couple of years back, but do you remember what it was like to transition from high school to go into college?
It was very different for sure. Like growing up, playing club ball and stuff, like my coaches would always tell me like, oh, like you need to be ready for college, like you're really gonna be on your own. And I think my coaches helped a lot with that growing up because they would help me, you know, learn things on my own and, with traveling and doing all that kind of stuff. Like it really helped me to be able to transfer into college because once I got here, it wasn't like, as hard as I thought it was gonna be. Like I was definitely freaking out before I came, like nervous to be away from my family. But once I got here, it was a lot of fun. Just this whole experience of college. It's been really fun.
Right, awesome. And one of the things too is you broke the single season triple record, which is quite an accomplishment. I mean, did you know that you did that when it happened? And what was your thoughts when you achieved that milestone?
So I actually had no idea when it did happen, but I didn't find out till like later on, like after our season. But whenever I found that out, I was like, wow, I like didn't really realize how many triples I actually hit that season, like until like I saw that. I was like, how is that like possible? Like it wasn't doubles, it wasn't singles, it was triples. Like it was just an awesome accomplishment because I know that it's like kind of a hard one to get.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I mean, you hit 9 on the season. That's just in softball. I know that's a hard accomplishment.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And you know, as a versatile player, you've excelled both defensively and offensively. How do you balance maintaining a strong presence on the field while contributing, you know, significantly with your bat?
Um, I would just say not to like I try not to pressure myself so much. Like I know that if my hitting end of the stick is like not doing good, like I still need to do my job on the field, and so I try not to like worry too much about hitting if I'm like in a slump, or I try not to worry about it too much about fielding if I'm doing bad, because like I have both of those jobs to accomplish, and I'm just trying to do everything I can to like succeed for the team, like not just for myself but for the team. I think that's also another thing that helps me is I'm always there to play for my.
All right. I lost you for a second. There you go. Thought I lost the last little bit there that you were saying there.
I was just saying that I just try to keep it balanced by worrying about playing for my team and not worrying about like, oh, what are my stats gonna be, and you
Right.
know
Right.
yeah.
No, definitely a team player.
Yes.
Now, talk about off season. You know, what's your training regimen like to get ready for the season when you guys aren't playing?
So it's definitely been really fun this year. So we have a new coach this year, and so it was like definitely a little bit of a transition, but I think it was really fun because we were all like meeting each other, and because we have a fairly new team this year, we have a lot of new girls, and
Hmm.
so I think we were just in that like mood of wanting to like get to know each other and know how each other play. And so I think it was more of a thing of like, let's just, work hard but have fun at the same time, and not like push yourself too hard where you're like stressing out about it, but like, still have that fun even though we're not in season and we're not playing games at all, but we're still practicing. That's always hard too, to stay motivated during off season, because
Right.
we literally only had 2 games during the fall this year.
Wow.
So that was a little bit hard, but we definitely made the most out of it.
Right. Exactly. You know, and I know, you know, you're just a junior there, but do you have any memories that really stand out to you so far as you know, playing on the field and why?
Um, so I think my best one so far was just recently. We beat the number 4 seed in the nation for D2, which is West Texas A&M, and I think that was like one of the biggest accomplishments we've had since I've been here.
Uh-huh.
So it's definitely that was like just a really fun game. Like the energy was super high, and it was just nice knowing that like we're stepping up and we're trying to. I don't know, we've played West Texas the past 2 years, and like we did pretty good last year, but I think this year we came back for like a vengeance and we wanted to beat them, especially knowing they were ranked. And so
Right.
I think that was like one of my best memories so far, because it was just an awesome feeling knowing that like we beat the number 4 seed in the nation.
Oh, definitely. And you know, I think a lot of times when you go up against a ranked team, your level of play comes up, you know, because
Yeah,
they've got a
yes.
target on their back and you want to beat them.
Yep, exactly. Yeah,
You
I
know,
can
and
agree.
as you look at yourself through your, you know, so far what you've done in your collegiate, you know, as a player and a person, you know, how have you seen yourself grow there at Fort Lewis College?
So I definitely would say I'm starting to become like have more of a leadership role now that I'm a junior. And like I felt the leadership role my freshman and sophomore year, but I think I was still like, a little quiet, still trying to get in the groove of things. But I would say that I've came a long way with like, trying to be there for my teammates, trying to keep them up and have that role again that I did my junior and senior year of high school, because I really felt, you know, like I was a leader in
Right.
high school. So I wanted to carry that over to this year and next year and just finish out strong.
Well, I can definitely see that in just talking to you the short time that we have. But you know, the other thing, one of the things that I always ask, you know, student athletes is how, I think this is one of the hardest things, is how you balance academics and playing sports. How do you manage to do that?
I would say it was pretty hard. That was one of the hardest things to do when I got here because the workload is completely different from high school. Like you get home and you got to get onto your work right away. But I think just I come back to like the club ball thing, and I think like my coaches in the past have really helped me with my time management. And I think, it all comes down to time management at the end of the day in
Right.
college because, we have weights and then we have class and then we have practice and then we have like 4 hours of homework to do. And it did take me a couple of years to get used to that, but I think this year I'm definitely on top of my time management. But it's definitely hard to balance it out. But I feel like, once you get into the groove of things, it definitely gets easier.
Right. And of course, you're a junior right now. You still got your senior year. What do you look for after college? What are you going to do?
So right now, I'm still trying to decide if I want to minor in accounting. And so I think I want to be an accountant when I'm done with college. And my dad is currently taking over my grandpa's business, which is like septic installing.
Hmm.
So my grandma used to do accounting, but she used to take it on book. And so my dad's trying to transition into doing it online. So I told him that when I was done with college, I could do his accounting work. But, I definitely want to do accounting, but I'm trying to decide if I want to, help out my dad or if I want to, you know, do accounting for a different company.
Right, right. Whether you're going to go home or go elsewhere, right?
Exactly.
All right, Alex, thank you so much for joining us on Skyhawk Minute. You were a pleasure. Awesome. And good luck with the rest of your career playing softball at Fort Lewis.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, to be sure and join us for more Skyhawks Minute coming up each week, sponsored by Fort Lewis College, right here on 99X, Durango's music hit station.